G'day guys and welcome to the Hunters Campfire. Pull up a chair, get comfortable and enjoy some great company with Mark, Ian and Jono. Thanks to our friends at SSAA and Beretta Australia, we're here to help you make the most of everything you love about hunting, shooting and the great outdoors.
Good evening, gents.
Good evening.
Hello. It's a different night again this week. We seem to be chopping and changing them at the moment.
Man, it is a busy time of year. It's not even Christmas yet, and it is like everything is booked out, including weeknights. The conference all week, and glad to be home, podcasting and neglecting my family again.
Go away for a week and come back and podcast with the boys.
That's right.
We had our first passport for the boys has arrived today, so we're desperately waiting on the second one because you got to update kids' ones more frequently.
Wow.
They're only 5 years, aren't they?
And you can't smile, and you can't do this, and you can't do that, and you can't look like a kid. You can't show your teeth, and you can't do this, and you can't do that, and you can't do this, and you can't do that. And you're going to say, well, why not just draw a pencil outline of him? So, yes, the youngest guy was the hardest one to get an approved photo of. So we're still waiting on his.
Passports. Guess when mine expires?
Well, you're
March
New
26th.
Zealand.
Before New Zealand, probably.
Oh, okay.
When are we flying to New Zealand?
March 26th. Like,
you better get that renewed then.
Yeah, but how? This is now my problem because long time before you go, you've got to have your passport number on all your official docs.
Yeah, and you've got to, and they don't like you having a brand new passport before you. They don't like that at all.
Can't travel with two, so I'm trying to figure out how to deal with this at the moment. I think
it will be surely to get a New Zealand passport renewed.
Yeah, I guess I could just expire the old one early.
You can,
because when you submit your new one, when you apply for a new one, you have to submit your old one. So then they normally terminate that one. So you better get it renewed.
You can do that if you're going to try. If exactly what you're suggesting, you can do that because we had to do that back in COVID times when the girl had to go back to England in a great big hurry. Her passport was kind of timing out when she would be away. So they said, you've got to, renew it now.
So you renew it early and then you give your old one back and they terminate that one and then you get a new one with a new passport number with a new expiry date. So you're going to have to do that ASAP.
Yes. Because it's not a very, very fast process at all.
Okay, I better go do that now. Catch you later.
Yeah. See ya.
It's been nice chat. All right, I'll put that on my to-do list for sometime
next week sometime.
Tomorrow, no, next week is terrible. Next week I've got to try and cram a week's worth of work into 2 days so that we can zip off to Fraser with, I'm taking leave, just in case my boss is listening. Because he does now.
That's right.
He hears all the stories.
I was just about to say, you told me your boss listens now. So
Want to
frame that.
Damn it. I'm going on Saturday. Yeah. No, he's on leave next week. So he doesn't know when we recorded this. That's they're always delayed. Well, I had leave.
I think he may have just figured it out.
You authorised it. Okay, we'll carry on. Lucky most bosses have bad memories.
The recording kind of defeats that.
Yeah.
You can go back and listen to it over and over again.
Right. But it'll be good for our ratings.
Yeah,
going back to trying to find which episode it was. Yeah,
as long as he watches the ads, then that's great.
Gets to the you got to hang in there for 5 minutes before we put an ad on it. Okay, fair enough. What else been happening this week?
I suppose I bought a new knife sharpener.
Did you?
Yes, I see that. I bought the Easy Sharp, which is the one out of WA, which is quite a heavy duty system. So I'm keen to give that a go.
Heavy duty like Jono's heavy duty system that requires
I don't know about Jono's. It has a much
and a plug.
It has a much more robust clamp that holds the knife in place. It uses a much bigger stone. It's a longer draw through it or drag, depending on which way you want to go. It has a much more detailed angle adjustment, so I can get down to 14 degrees and stuff like that. Yeah, so I'm going to give it a go because I've been using the Worksharp little tower, and what I find is it flexes too much when you they're not stones, they're diamond files, I suppose. They're very thin, so you have to kind of do this back and forth. So I'm going to give this one a go. Ooh. It's going by all the YouTube ads. It is the greatest thing ever. So I'm hoping that it'll turn out to be at least serviceable. I certainly do like the clamp. The clamp is a decent size one. I've actually had to get an extra attachment. It's a smaller clamp, so you can actually clamp a pocket knife because it's quite a large clamp. So
and how does it maintain the angle? Are you moving the blade or
no?
Is
So
it, the clamp is at an angle? You said adjust the clamp to an angle.
You put the whole thing, clamp it to your bench. You set the back rest up, which zeroes it, so the stone is zeroed, and then you adjust the front to give it the angle, and then it's a big draw down on rails down.
So it's kind of like a Lansky type.
Yeah,
system?
it's like a Lansky, but it's like the Fred Flintstone version of the Lansky.
Okay.
So the stone is like 2 inches wide.
Yeah, because the Lanskys are quite small, but it's got the guide for the angle, and you adjust the height based on the little hole.
Yep. So it's like the Lansky, it's like the workshop, but it's just more of an industrial size, and it just looks a lot more robust. A lot of those ones, you do get that flex because they're such a small stone. So I'm going to give this a go.
Okay, cool.
Because Benchmade's run at 14 degrees, which is a very nice angle, I find, for the work with it, but it's hard to replicate that well. And I want to try and do it myself.
It's a very fine angle, though.
It is.
Typically, I mean, my working knives, I'd usually go 20.
Yeah. Well, for a buffalo skinner, there's 20, but for deer and stuff like that,
you go 14, 15. Yeah, because I've got the workshop, but I've got the workshop electric one, which again I don't get down to 1 degrees. Mine is at 15, 20, 25, 30 type scenario, so there's not much room. But I love that because I literally change out the band for the different grit levels, and it's all the way down to a strop. I've got a leather strop on it as well. But yes, you've got to have 240.
Is that the Ken Onion version?
I've got the Ken Onion version.
And that's right. It still doesn't adjust. It only has increments. It still doesn't do the degree one, which was because I had the non-Ken Onion version of that.
No, I've got the Ken Onions, but it is still in 5-degree increments. So you can do 15, 20, 25, etc.
For anyone who doesn't know Ken.
I don't know who Ken is either.
He's a very famous knife maker in the US. I don't know him personally, but I know of him.
We should get him on the potty.
We could try.
I don't know if Ken's alive, if it was like a historical figure. I don't know who Ken.
So Ken Onion knife sharpeners, excellent. Good to know.
Ken. Well, no, it's the workshop.
The workshop Ken Onion edition.
Edition.
Excellent. Yes. Well, I just like to change the blade on my little outdoor edge knife and move on with my life. It's become efficient, easier. I could care less about sharpening knives anymore. It's kind of like my factory ammo. I actually find it quite therapeutic sharpening the knife. You know what? I did the first time. And then it went blunt, and I was like,
just go in the shed. You
just swap this blade out and get a new one.
I actually quite like it. And
move on.
And I'm doing all the kitchen knives one at a time.
Yeah, I did all of that when I got my knife shop. I was very keen, and now I'm just not. Yeah. But that's all right.
I've actually got, for my kitchen knives, I've got an LD kitchen knife sharpener that makes it nice and rough, but they slices through everything. For the kitchen, that's fine because I walk in and the kids are trying to cut hose pipes.
Yeah, they throw them in the dishwasher and they totally wreck them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Whereas my hunting knives, they get done properly. And my fishing knives, my filleting knives, my butchering knives, I do them properly. I take my time. Kitchen knives, just the LD, nice, rough and ready, almost serrated blade on it.
Thinking about replacing my kitchen knives with outdoor edge replaceable blades.
Just get scalpel blades for everything.
Yeah, just have like
Dad, can I have an apple?
I've had enough trips to the A&E, to the emergency department with sliced fingers. My wife almost took the tip of her finger off.
Something about you and
after I sharpened knives, so yeah.
Yeah, I got...
My wife has none.
My thumb is oddly shaped because of that very reason. When I cut it, and the girl, we were only going out at the time, she started to freak out and said, we'll go to the hospital. And I said, I'm not getting in a car with you. So you just need to, I'm just going to hold this until you're ready to drive.
Oh,
I said, I'm not getting in a car with you at this stage. She's freaking out. I'm not going to do that. Car crash is me holding thumb.
Run out of blood. Fainted.
That's it. Said, nope, not having that. The other thing I got is the Hunt New South Wales app.
Oh, the updated one?
Yes.
Is it any good?
It doesn't have the maps on it anymore.
Doesn't it?
I always use those maps. No, I really love those
I never
maps.
Used them.
Because you know what I really liked them for? Navigating to the forest. They were really, really good. That base camp was really, really good at getting you to the forest.
But once you're in the forest,
if it doesn't have the maps in it,
Well, once I use in a forest, I don't really use maps anyway, other than to tell me where an exclusion zone is.
Yeah. So if it doesn't have the map anymore, it doesn't have the if you're in a hunting area or not.
I think you have to use a Venza. You have to have an
because it used to tell you, it used to like blast at you if you were in an exclusion zone.
That's what I really liked about it. I liked it by the fact that if you didn't know where the forest was, like for instance when we went to Laird, we didn't know where that was, and when you get the map, it told us to drive. For instance, it told us to drive through the mine site. So I went, all right. So we used the base, I think it was Base Camp, the mapping system, to get us in there, which was really good. And then when you're in there, it told you, because that forest has got really weird kind of exclusion zones. It was really good at telling you, okay, you're coming up to an exclusion zone and things like that. So I actually found it really, really useful. But no, they're not. It doesn't include the mapping system. And I also believe I may be the only person who liked that map.
There's a chance.
Because I was talking to them, and the other thing they did mention was mentioned about, remember I said about, the information we give them helps drive their decision making, and they totally agreed. Giving them as much information you can helps them make decisions. Something like 92% of all hunts are less than 2 days, as far as the data is concerned.
So people have been fudging tighter.
If you have, that's right. If the data, if that's what it is, then why have 7 days if if people are doing that? 92% of people are doing less than 2 days. So very interesting.
Well, while you're talking about,
that's it for me.
We'll jump to another subject that you've got here on the list.
Oh, okay.
Since you're talking about talking to DPI, did you ever follow up on the bicycle story?
Yes, I do. Are we going to jump into that? Are we going to follow our list?
While we're on topic.
Okay, we're going to list. Okay, so there's two challenges about riding a bike while hunting in a state forest.
There's freaking more than two.
No, there are two major challenges. Two major challenges in terms of legality. And this is, of course, we're already assuming that you're not shooting from the push bike. Okay, so we're getting away from that. Two challenges is one, as it's a push bike and as you're on a road, even, and we know that there is gazetted roads and non-gazetted tracks in a state forest. If you're on a gazetted road and you're on a push bike, that is classed as it's a motor vehicle it's not a motor vehicle, but it's a vehicle.
You can be DUI'd on it.
That's right. So safe handling of firearms comes into play. Okay. So the storage, that if it was your truck or a motorbike, is the same thing. So it has to be a lockable storage container. And it has to be in there in such a way that it's not a firing rifle or shotgun. So, it's got to be in a lockable storage. It's got to have the bolt out. It's got to have no ammo in it. That's your first challenge. So we discussed that, and technically, I can't remember the brand. It starts with C, but you can get those guns, scabbards that they have for motorbikes.
Black ones.
Yeah, there's a brand that starts with C. I can't think what it's called. You can have those scabbards. You see them on motorbikes and quad bikes and things like that. So technically, you could have one of those and transport it in that, and that would be okay. The second problem is that within their risk assessment around hunting by forestry, there isn't a question about you hunting from the push bike. That's the problem. It's like, we don't have that in our risk assessment. And so that kind of throws the wheels on the thing. No one came up with that idea when they were doing the risk. When forestry were doing the risk assessment, no one came up with the idea of some guy to be like Zuzu pedaling on a push bike kind of thing. So it's not in there. So it kind of go, oh, okay, that freaks us out a bit. What are we going to do about it? So then there's a question that comes in. Unfortunately, what that creates, it creates a problem potentially for insurance. Okay. That's the problem it creates. The public liability and all those insurances, it creates this kind of, oh, hang on, if it's not in the risk assessment, then it might not be covered up by insurance.
How does that work, though? There's always something that's not in the risk assessment. I mean, they cover horses, donkeys, and llamas?
I don't know, but think about it. It's insurance, and that's exactly right. I don't know your experiences with insurance companies, but my experience is they don't usually kind of go out of their way to go, oh, that's okay, buddy. We'll just let that slide.
They'll find every opportunity to screw you.
That's right. Yeah, near enough to near good enough. That's okay. Yeah, we're no problem with that. Great wall, great fence, no problem. No, so so that's what it is. It creates this problem around this bike as a potential safety issue. That's number one in regards to hunting, and two, the fact that you're actually transporting. So that's the challenge.
Now, let's remove the rifle and make it a bow.
The what came back was, and I didn't ask that question, but in the conversation that they said rifle or bow. Yes. I didn't introduce. I don't even think about bow.
Safe storage with traveling with a bow is
I don't know, but it's still the safety issue about being on the bike and stuff like that.
That I get. But if we bypass the,
I don't know.
There's no rule that says you can't ride your bike in a state forest.
No.
Yes, it hasn't gone through the risk assessment. I get that. That just means that there's something they need to address because there's nothing that says you can't. Now we move to the safe transportation of a weapon. Well, it's not classified as a weapon like a rifle is. If you travel with a bow in your car, it can just be on the back seat.
Yeah, but I assume that it actually, from a risk assessment, it becomes more dangerous on a push bike.
Well, let's not go into risk. We're not talking about risk.
We're talking about
risk. We know it's risky.
You're likely to fall on it.
That's right. Those blades that are pointing in a general direction, you want to hope they don't come out and spear you in the leg.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but it would make the whole travelling with the weapon or the
well, apparatus. I don't know the. Oh, hang on.
Sorry.
That's finishing quick.
I clicked the mistake.
I don't know the legality of a bow on a push bike or motorbike in New South Wales on roads. I don't know. I don't know.
I can't imagine it would be favourable if you're cruising down the main highway on your e-bike with a bow over your shoulder, a couple of arrows.
I don't know if the ranger would appreciate that.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Well, no. I don't know. I don't know if the whoever is the department that looks after transport and main roads or whatever the equivalent is in New South Wales regard that as a safe transport mechanism.
Now, if I took my bike that had the baby pod capsule towed thing, the little trailer that went behind, and I've got my bow in the trailer and it's being pulled along behind me, it would seem reasonable.
Yeah, you couldn't fall on it that way.
Yeah, that's right. Because that was the other thing. One of the questions is because there's a bike, it's more likely to fall over, which is true.
So if you have a bike, get a trailer, put your gun in the trailer. In a
lockable trailer,
and you'll be fine. And lockable scabbard on the trailer, you're fine.
Excellent. Yeah, okay. I'm glad we came to a conclusion on that. Common sense rule applies. It's probably a bit dumb.
I didn't ask about the bow because I was thinking about me hunting in the Pilliga, and I'm not hunting with a bow, so I thought rifle or shotgun.
Yeah, 2 shotguns, one on each side. Well, if you're on a bike,
can you mount them? Can you mount them to the bicycle and shoot from the?
No,
you can't. Can't hunt from a vehicle, Johnny.
That's it. That's where
all
we
right. All right.
Okay.
Asked and answered.
I'm putting a cross through that.
Okay. Moving on. I've got exciting news. Subject. So the competition shotgun has moved to a new level.
Oh, okay.
I have an official sponsor.
Okay.
In the hunting industry, branded and everything. I've been waiting to share this news with you. Are you ready for it?
Yes.
All right. Hopefully this works. Can you see it? It's us. Yay!
Oh, it's us. Oh, hang on.
So we sponsor you, do we?
No, okay.
There it is. We're branded.
I don't remember signing that paperwork.
No, I don't remember signing this off.
I didn't say it was monetary. Anyway, my grand reveal is on the back of my chair. The Hunters Campfire logo on the back of my shooting vest. Thank you, gentlemen. Look forward to your donations. Or support, encouragement.
Wouldn't be donations.
No, it wouldn't if it's sponsorship. We'd have to shoot that.
Advertising for that was my exciting news. It didn't go down as well as it was going to in my head. Applause would have been welcome. Thanks, Johnny.
I would have applauded if someone was paying you. That would have been worth. But the fact that we're sponsoring you, there's not much.
Thank you. Settle down.
It's extended.
My goodness.
Thank you.
I said no props.
Thank you.
You need to learn to fade. So anyway,
I can't fade on this thing.
This Campfire Productions embedded on the back of my shooting vest. That's good for all to see.
Very cool. That's very cool.
more interesting than that, though. I got a bunch of, we were talking about on a previous podcast, gear maintenance. And one of the things that I have always struggled with my lowers is a decent quality, I guess, maintenance product for it. So lower have their, I don't know, you got lowers. Do you use the lower active cream like
I did
the
until it ran out, and then
what did you think of it?
I just thought it was just made the kind of suede go dark.
Yeah, it made it go weird
Surely
colours.
it's fitting the leather though.
Yeah,
it didn't.
But it always went sort of hard and crusty after you put that
it kind
stuff
of make
on.
it. Yeah, it went from like soft furry to hard furry.
Yeah, I didn't find it. Anyway, so Nick Wax is a product, NIKWAX. Go find it. I threw a post up on Insta the other day to say that I was cleaning my boots. They come up with a pretty damn good product for re-waterproofing jackets and other things that you want to keep waterproof. Tents, if you want to redo tents and flies and that sort of stuff. But they also had a range of boot stuff. So I got my hands on the boot cleaner and then the re-waterproofer for the lower boots, and it is bloody good. Now, I say it's bloody good. I've tested it by running the hose back over it after I've got the stuff on it and dry, and it just wicks the water away completely. As you would imagine with a name like Wax, it does have a waxy outer, so it kind of just runs it off. But it's definitely worth a try. Worth a try. Stuff's pretty cheap. I think it's online only. I haven't found a retailer for it, but we got online. But yeah, they have a couple of stage process. They've got the cleaner, and then they've got the re-waterproofer, and they've got a product that comes in for leather boots, and another product that comes for mainly synthetic style boot, so you can get a re-waterproof. End of hunt season, usually my boots just get put on a shelf in the shed. Good to get them clean and ready to go for next year and moisturised, if that's the word for it, whatever the leather treatment on it before you put them away, and good to go for another year. Give it a look. Wax.
Yep.
Something.
That Nick Wax, the re-waterproofer, I actually use that on my fishing jacket. So I found I've got a fishing jacket that kind of lost its waterproof a little bit. I'd wear it and I'd go on the boat or I'd be on the beach and I'd start getting wet if it rained. Yep. I just chucked it and washed it with that and sorted it right out.
It's good. And it does have that tight, slightly waxy feel to it, doesn't it?
It does. So it almost comes out like a waxy jacket, but it sorted out my jacket completely. I had my fishing jacket sorted.
I found a Kathmandu jacket that I bought when I was touring around Europe 15 years ago. Ended up in the bottom of the thing, and the same sort of thing. It was no good in the rain. It had done its day, and I chucked it through that as a trial. And it's same thing. Came out really good, waterproof. Happy days. Just sadly the zips failed on the jacket not long after, so it wouldn't. But give it a shot.
It definitely works.
Probably the first really good quality re-waterproofer and boot waterproofer I've found. So thought I'd share that
because I've got the because I went up on the block on when was it? Yesterday, and I wore my lower Zephyrs, which are the non-lined, non-waterproof ones, and not thinking, and the grass was very, very, there was a lot of dew, so they got pretty wet, but I've got my Z6s, which I still treated. I treated them after we came back from Bondi State Forest, and I've got the new Rangers, but I haven't even worn them yet. Because I'm going to I'll probably take my Z6s to England.
Yeah, they're a big, comfy boot.
Yeah, they're a very comfy boot, and they'll get wet over there.
Yeah. I've got the 8s, the Z8s that I retired for the Rangers, but I only retired them because they lost their waterproofing. So now I can get them fixed right up, see how they go.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's that. Jono,
cool.
What is?
Yeah, so I've been, as we've spoken about on the podcast, we're heading off fishing pretty soon. And Fraser this time next week we'll be on Fraser. I know not when the podcast comes out, but from this point in time. But yeah, I've been really getting into my fishing, and Mark, like you've been teaching the boys knots. I've been actually teaching myself tying knots and getting better at my knots. And one of the knots that I've been trying to teach myself is the FG for tying braid to mono. And I struggled with it at first. There's a couple of really good YouTube videos. But what I did is I bought myself, and he's a local Aussie guy.
Oh, yeah, the Wiz. Yeah.
FG Wiz. And this has really, really changed the way I tie my knots. So the FG, it's really, really good. I sit here at my desk when I'm working between meetings, and I just practice. I've got rolls, a couple old nylon or mono that I took off an old reel, and I've got braid that I took off an old reel, and I've just been practicing. Yeah, definitely great little invention. It's got the tension that you need. There's other ways of doing it where you put the line through the rod and you put it in your teeth. That's great when you're on the boat, but I find when I'm here at the bench, it's a great little invention. Been practicing my knots, and I've got my braid for Fraser, 200-pound braid, which I spooled up. I've still got 1,000 yards left on that. I've got 1,000 yards on my reel, and we're going to be catching some big sharks next week.
Tigers,
bulls, bronzies, whatever bites. Yeah, great little invention. A local Aussie guy that's done it just here. I think he's down on the Gold Coast, I think he is.
Okay.
But yeah, good.
It's a serious knot, the old FG knot, isn't it?
Yeah. It is. It's a great knot.
I've been practicing this one I've seen where you use your pinky.
Yeah, there's so many different ways of doing it.
I quite like that way.
I use the double uni normally for tying.
But I've been getting the FG.
Double uni. Yeah, I did that. Depending on the fishing rod, if I'll use an FG or a double uni, it's how big the top eye is. That's what it is.
Yeah. So, yeah, I've been practicing my FG.
If it can accommodate a double uni, I'll do the double uni. But if it's a bait caster or something like that, I'd generally try and do an FG.
FGs are slimmer.
Yes.
They are much slimmer and they're really strong. And a good analogy that I heard was if you think of the Chinese finger trap, that's what the FG is, because of the way that you wrap it around and the harder you pull it, it just basically locks it in place. So it makes it a really, really good knot. So I've been practicing that. I've been practicing my spider hitch.
I
was trying to do the Bimini, but
fingers.
Why did the Chinese trap fingers?
Why did the Chinese trap fingers?
Oh no, the Chinese finger trap is what he was referring to.
Well, they made it for a reason.
It's a game.
Fingers. Yeah, it is a game. Yeah. The more you struggle, the harder it gets. You can't get it out. It's all about being patient. And have you not heard that before?
It's a kid's game. But anyway,
we're gonna have to do Chinese finger trap for you.
So many things to Google after I come on a podcast with you fellas.
Well, that's what we're about. We're about educating people.
That's right.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. So we're off to Fraser in a week's time, practicing my knots. I've got my reels spooled up. This time next week we'll be on Fraser.
Gonna be good. My son is so pumped for it. Yeah, he's even more pumped that he's been taken out of school for 3 days.
Oh yeah, that's what my son is. So excited. He's like, so do I have to go to school? Like, no, you don't, mate. We're going to Fraser.
Yeah, of course you do, buddy. School of the air. You have to sit on the beach at Fraser and do your schoolwork during the day.
Oh, that's the best education you can get is on the beach.
Well, speaking of fishing, we went fishing last weekend, or more importantly, we dodged fairly significant storms while we were fishing. It was actually quite exciting fun. So it was me and the boys and Adam. Adam left the house in his new vehicle and saw the storms and turned around and went back home. So we were there, and one was getting really, really close, and we pulled the pin and we hightailed it to Redcliffe Shopping Centre, went into the underground car park and, rode it out, and it was very comfortable under there. And we said, let's go upstairs and see what's in the shopping centre, and went upstairs and there was a sushi train. So we had sushi train while the storm raged over. And when it gave out, we went back out again and fished for another 45 minutes until another storm front came through, and the youngest had fallen asleep by then, so we drove home. It's actually real fun. Interesting, though, during as the first storm was building, I just bought a new rod, graphite rod and all that stuff, and I had my reel and I was casting because I was shooting soft plastics out, and I was getting static discharge as I was winding in. That's how live the air was.
There was just so much energy.
I was casting. It was going in. I was, so I was holding it like that with my hands, my fingers on each side of the rod seat. It was like a little electric generator in my hand as I was bringing in the soft plastics. The air was alive with electricity.
That was a big.
It was quite spectacular. It was spectacular to be out there. We're just watching it going, oh, here it is, there it is. You can see it's coming. Let's go. But yeah, we actually didn't get wet or anything like that. We timed it perfectly.
Do you get any fish though?
Nah. But I didn't.
I find when there's a storm coming, the fish don't typically.
Yeah, that's it. I find that that drop in pressure can put them on the bite, but once it gets close, it kind of shuts everything down.
Yeah, I find the drop in pressure rain, yes, but if there's thunderstorm, they don't.
That was it. So we still had a lot of fun though. It was good fun. So because I'm getting the boys in the soft plastic, and having two sons jigging soft plastics means that basically I don't do too much fishing while that's happening because there's tangles and there's all sorts of stuff going on, but we're getting there.
And they can cast okay, can they?
Yeah. Eldest can cast pretty well. Youngest is coming on.
Yeah, so that's the big thing I did when we went to Fraser in August, was teaching Adam how to cast, because most of the time you'll try and cast it like but it's just
the youngest is the opposite. The youngest lets it go too early, so he does his big lollipop cast.
So I would just give him my rod, give him a little slug, and just go for it.
Yeah, what we do is we go down.
And he couldn't get the distance a lot of the time for the tailor, so I would do a long cast and then give it to him to wind. But he's getting better. We've been practicing. So.
We go down the park with a lure with no hook and just cast that.
What's your go-to hunting caliber, Jono? Just as a slight change of subject for half a second. What's your main hunting caliber? Pick up your rifle.
308.
Right, 308. And mine's a 3006. So I have a challenge for you. Who can catch a fish on a cartridge lure homemade before you get your 308, turn it into a lure with a hook on it? I'll do the same with 3006. We'll see who can catch the biggest fish.
Okay.
Mate, for tailor at biting.
That's not really tailor season, but...
If you tailor at biting, they'll catch anything with that.
Right.
And it doesn't matter as long as it's a 308 cartridge, yeah?
It has to be a
silver ones.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
It has to be a 308 cartridge, and you can do whatever to it as long as the cartridge is part of the lure. You can't just take a little bit off.
Right.
And
Challenge accepted. Challenge accepted.
The main lure has to be 308 cartridge.
Okay. Challenge accepted. If the tailor on, let's see what we can do. Might get a dart even. You never know.
When we were
biggest one for the trip on the lure.
Only one or biggest one if we...
No, the biggest one. You can catch a dart. Okay. If I catch, go a week.
Right. I'll just tie a cartridge to my shark bait and drone it.
Can't have anything else, though. Are you going to try and catch a shark on your dodgy cartridge?
Yeah, attached to my 2.5.
Well, do we want to go largest fish or total weight caught?
I think largest fish on a length basis as opposed to weight.
Okay.
Because in Australia, they seem to do things on length. I grew up, everything was about weight. But, brag mats. Have you got a brag mat?
No. What's a brag mat?
Brag mat says mat that you roll out and you measure your fish.
Is that a brag mat? Okay.
That's a brag mat. You're not got a brag mat? Okay. I don't know. I've got a tape measure. How about Mark being the independent adjudicator here? Is it on weight or is it on length, Mark?
Well, it depends. If it's the same fish, it's weight.
Well, that's what, okay. That's why I think length is...
If it's different fish, then it's... Oh, that's right. So if it's the biggest fish, it's length. But if it's tailor, it's which one's the fattest?
Which would be weight.
Yeah.
So, okay.
That's it.
So do we have to weigh and measure both?
Well, I mean, if you catch a dart and he catches a tailor, then it's just basically put them on the ground, whichever one's longest.
Yeah. That's
because darts aren't built the same as a tailor. But if it's you catch two tailor, it's how fat they are.
Weight's too hard.
Generally with fish, yeah. That's right. Well, scales are easy.
I think tape measure, same species is length, different species. No, same species is weight, different species is length.
Video evidence. We'll be able to compare and adjudicate.
All right, done.
Go on. That'll make the week fun. Funner. Now, where are we going with that? That was it. Talking about fishing. Mark, back to you.
Yes. Oh, okay.
The October column.
Yes. So, the Australian Shooters out. This column for October is all about basically leaning into the joy of a difficult hunt. So it's about leaning into it. Leaning into the activity itself, enjoying it for its reason, rather than worrying about too much about the outcome. More about enjoying the experience. So that's what this one's about, which is out now through the Australian Shooter. So back cover, and outdoor life. Simple. So jumping around again. Knives. Jono told us last week that we all have to surrender our knives.
Yep, we're all holding illegal knives.
News.
Yeah. So look, the first thing is I need to acknowledge this very, very speedy response that we got from the Shooters Union here in Queensland. Reached out to the Shooters Union and their legal team, which are all volunteers, which I was very happy that they got back to us, and their legal support put together a nice email saying, so this is where it's at. G'day, Mark. I spoke to the team and Shooters Union members, including camping stores, have raised concerns with being contacted by the police regarding knives. And Shooters Union leadership are taking this issue to a ministerial level and working closely with Weapons Licensing Group Queensland. So it's at a ministerial level at the moment. They're asking the question. Shooters Union have established that the issue of one-handed opening knives, being a category M, only applies to any knife so designed or constructed so as to be used as a weapon. In other words, it doesn't apply to Swiss Army knives, Leatherman tools, Stanley knives, etc. That's a really interesting thing. When you think about a single opening knife, a Stanley knife is a single opener.
Yeah, that's what I said last week.
Yeah. So an art knife, all of those things are technically single opening knives. So it really kind of it's a bit of a can of worms. This does leave various utility knives in a sort of grey area. And their advice is as long as they look normal, i.e. like something that you would use while camping or cutting ropes, cables, etc., and aren't being marketed as the zombie stabber extra cut or anything like that, then it shouldn't qualify as designed or constructed so as to be used as a weapon. So that's where they're at the moment.
Open to interpretation
that's their argument. Their argument is that if it's so designed to be a hunting knife and it's it's marketed as such as a hunting knife, then it's not designed to be a weapon, unless of course.
So I've got this knife, which is a hunting knife that I've had for 20 years,
and it's a buck knife, and it's a hunting knife,
American,
and it's
so that
it's
probably
marketed,
falls into
sold as a hunting knife. So,
but it could be used as a weapon.
Well, no, but that's not the thing, because you could say that applies to your car. Then better hand in your car because it could be used as a weapon.
Yeah. So this probably falls into that grey area.
That's it.
And I suppose it depends who is interpreting the law when you get stopped or inspected.
That's what they're saying. That's where the issue lies at the moment, the interpretation of, and so they're saying that if it's not marketed or sold as a weapon, then it shouldn't be considered as a weapon.
So that, I guess, if you look at like Spydercos or something like that, which some of them come with a serration on them as well.
Yeah,
but that
could be advertised for rope cutting.
It could be. So again, grey area. So
and as you said,
it depends who's interpreting it.
It's those, like, for instance, that silliness they had about the zombie knives, which, if you think about it, is odd that you'd ban anything designed to kill zombies because...
Well, what about the zombie apocalypse?
Well, I wouldn't have thought the police were functioning during the apocalypse. That's why it would be called an apocalypse. It wouldn't be like the zombie inconvenience. I thought that was the concept of the apocalypse. There wasn't police or anything. So, yes, which makes sense. However, it's something that's in train at the moment with the Shooters Union taking it at a ministerial level. So we'll see what comes of that.
Speaking of inspections,
been
a little bit of a chit-chat on our hunt camp.
There has been.
About the New South Wales process of doing video call inspections of your safe. Which I think was quite interesting. I'd not heard of that before. Funnily enough, not living in New South Wales, no reason to hear about it. But it seems like a very simple process that they went through. Blake, who was talking to everyone on the chat, went through the inspection. He said it took 2 minutes, had all the guns out of the safe, and had the last 3 digits of the serial numbers read out. Showed them where the bolts were, how they were, what they were. He said what they're mounted into. I imagine he's saying where they're stored. And tell them what room the safe is in so that they're aware and they can mark it off. Done, dusted, finished. What a practical way to do it.
When you said what the bolts were and where they are, I think you meant the bolts attaching the safe to the wall or to the floor, not his rifle bolts, just FYI. Which shouldn't be stored with your firearms.
Yeah, that makes more sense. The bolts. Show them the bolts and what they're mounted into. Yeah, okay. So it's
you making sure that your
the concrete floor.
Which would be harder to show, wouldn't it, in a lot of ways? That's that there.
Well, it gets dark on the video call.
Yeah, and it's just like...
You get a torch or something.
There is the head of it there.
You get your eye light and you shine it on and you show. Yeah. No, but I think it's an interesting process. It means the police could do more
Well, let's be honest. If you've got to do, I don't know how many firearm owners there are in New South Wales, but if you've got what's it, 3.5% of the population? What's New South Wales, 5.5 million?
Google it.
So, yeah, Google it. That's a lot of inspections.
Yeah. So good on them for modernising. If that means that, you've got a video call that's pre-booked and you don't have someone rocking up on the doorstep unannounced and creating all that angst.
Yeah, 247,000 licensed firearm owners.
Yeah, so that's
a fair few.
250. That's 250,000. So yeah,
efficiency. That's what it's about, really, if you think about it.
Well, that's it. That's it. It's simply a numbers game, isn't it?
Do you think Queensland will adopt it?
It's about, if you think about it, it's 250,000 roughly, and 50 weeks in the year they're doing it. That's like 5,000 inspections a week.
Yeah. Jono, my observation. Sorry, you go.
I was going to say is that they said that once you've had your inspection, that clears you for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Well, so they only have to do 250,000 in 5 years before they have to start again.
Well, then that's still 1,000 a week.
Yeah.
If you divide that by 5, that's still 1,000 a week.
It's a lot.
It's
a lot of coppers' time.
If they're working Monday to Friday, that's 200 a day. So it's some serious numbers there.
Sorry, Hills, you were going to say?
I was going to your question, Joe. I think they're going to adopt them in Queensland. My observation about Queensland is, even though we get these things pop up from time to time that we're about to be totally harassed and they're changing the rules and this is going to happen and shooters union jump all over it and it ends up not happening. My observation is that very little changes with Queensland weapons licensing. Just for better or for worse, they don't do anything. It's the laws and rules and things haven't changed for eons. They're just kind of this, leave me alone, it's not broken, I'm not changing it. You can't influence change, but they also don't change either. So do I think they'll bring it in? No, I really don't.
I've had one inspection.
I've had one
since 2007.
Well, I've been a licensed firearm owner in Australia for 10 years, and I've had one.
So, 2007 to 25, so 18 years I've had one inspection.
Yeah, I had one in the first couple of years of ownership, which would have been around 2005. I think it's
mine would have been 9 years ago.
Now that
my
don't put me on a list to anybody. I don't want another one. It doesn't really matter.
Well, no, it was very friendly. They came around.
They were great.
In fact, mine was a safe inspection. It wasn't even guns. They just looked at the safe.
Well, I think that's what it is. It's really more of a storage inspection than a. So they rang up.
They checked the serial number. They checked the serial number.
Yeah, that's it. They rang up,
but they checked the safe. They gave it a shake and make sure it was securely bolted. They asked me where my ammunition was, and I said, "Well, it's stored over there, locked away." I said, "I can show you if you want." They weren't interested. They just needed to know that it wasn't stored in the same place as the firearm.
Yeah.
And they were happy. So very polite, very friendly. Yeah, it's great. Gave the kids a sticker and yeah.
So I got a phone call. It was really garbled. So I just hit the number, and it was the local police station. I said, "Hey, I just got a call from you guys," and they said, "Oh, we're ringing about a safe inspection." And I said, "Sure, I'll be home such and such." They turned up. They went through. Unfortunately, their paperwork was out of date, so I just had to go showed them stuff. But once I showed them that, they were happy. They didn't hang on the door or anything like that. They just looked at it and went, "Yeah, that looks like a safe," and that was it. Yeah. So, but certainly, if they speak, I mean. It's interesting, the video conferencing style of approach. Very interesting.
Correspondence.
So, yes.
WSAQ, is there a hint of some return?
We mentioned it last week. I'm sure we did. So
we said we'd try
after a conversation with Tom, we got some really good feedback, which was nice. We also got the question that we should, suggestion that we should speak to WSAQ. We contacted them pretty much straight away. We're still waiting a response. So we're still waiting on that. No update. No further update, sorry.
Okay. Well, the only other last piece of correspondence that we've had during the week is from our wonderful listener, Lucas DePucas. I'm sure that's not his real name, Lucas DePucas.
Well, I don't think the avatar's him either, by the way.
Well, yeah. Anyway, thank you. He's the first person to put his hand up to be camp bitch, in his words. I was going to use the words roustabout.
Yeah, let's
bitch
use
works. There's a certain ring to it.
I don't want camp. No, that's after 7 days up there, that'd be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
bitch.
Yeah. Camp bitch will work. Yeah. So, Lucas, if you're listening, I like it. We need a formal application. You'll need to send it in, maybe a 7-day menu and what you'd provide or what.
Let's
you think
not set any
shop
expectations. Remember, we're not going next year, so let's not.
This is 2027. We're talking.
Roustabout could be a position for many different hunts, not just the territory.
Could be for samba camp. It could be for deer camp. It could be. Yeah.
Fraser's going to need deep fried fish. Like if
he's cleaning out fish.
It's nearly a full-time gig here, Lucas. And I especially want to see what the desserts look like. There's been enough hints on this podcast for you to know what you should be bringing. Anyway,
and if you add something, you get bonus points. So
that's right.
Okay.
No Depucus. I don't want any Depucus.
I like Lucas Depucus. I think it's great.
Well, he's number one so far on my list.
There you go. Hit
it. First and only that makes it number one.
You got to admire the the proactive approach to it.
Yeah, definitely.
Go getter. Did you see the GMA game report out of Victoria?
Is that the harvest report?
Yes.
I was going to talk about that one as well.
Oh, okay, go for it.
So let's go talk about it.
Yeah.
I've missed it.
So you didn't see it? So obviously the state of Victoria, they have released their the deer harvest report for 2024. Remarkable numbers. An estimated 167,600 deer were harvested. That is an average of 6.4 deer harvested per hunter.
Yes.
So, and there were 52,098 licensed recreational deer hunters in the state of Victoria. That's not a deer.
They must have all done samba hunting course to be able to shoot 6.
There is some challenges to that, but I didn't want to touch that.
Yeah. And the average for them is 13.5 days hunted per active year. Deer hunter.
Per year.
So it's one every second day of hunting.
Yeah, pretty much. But 13 days is the average of days hunted, which I guess throws into, the New South Wales of 2 days. What is it? The average?
That's average in the year. So you've spent 13.5 days hunting over the year.
Average of 13.5 days hunted per active deer hunter. Okay, over a year. Okay.
Yeah. So over a year, 13 days hunted, 6 animals taken. That's one for every 2 days worth of effort. Their averages are better than mine.
Yep. And
there's some really more interesting things in that. For instance, it's a 22% increase over the 2023 harvest.
That's a big stat.
And even more remarkable, it's an 83% increase over the long-term average.
Jeez, it's crazy. Yeah?
So that's kind of the long-term average is 91,000. So it's blowing that out of the water.
You reckon they've just changed their data capture process?
It's mostly Samba. It's mostly Samba. And the interesting thing is, you're talking about the per hunter, it's actually better and worse in many ways because of those 52,000, 50% are actively hunting. So it's 26,000 have been stacking and whacking them, mate. They've been busy.
Well, the non-active ones just shoot them from the veranda.
I don't think being active, or as in I'm a lazy hunter.
I'm just a lazy hunter.
Are you hunting actively? Nah, I'm laying down.
I'm just lying on the car, mate. From the car.
That's right, from the car. Interestingly, though, because I had a look at the report, I went and I couldn't find anything about the financials, which is a little disappointing.
Yeah, they used to put a dollar amount on it.
Yeah, I wanted to find the financials.
Well, we could put a dollar amount on it. How much money do they spend on helicopter culls versus how many they shoot? Divide by times again, billions.
Yeah. The other interesting thing is it's more female deers than male deers.
That's not possible.
Yeah,
they're smarter. They're smarter than your average deer.
Well, didn't Brian Boley want us to shoot more females, more huns? So that's working. Yeah.
So Mansfield, Barnsdale, and so on are the highest areas.
And Eldon, or whatever it is, like Eldon.
Where is it? So of the Samba, 128,000 deer. That's the Samba number. fallow deer was the other second most harvested, and 60% of the sambo were females, and 58% of the fallow were females. So there's that. I just think the really impressive thing is it's a 22% increase. Because there was a huge dive because of COVID, not for no other reasons that they weren't allowed outside.
Oh yeah, the great lockdown.
So that was, that would have skewed the stats, significantly. And 2,400 licensed hunters were surveyed. So it's a reasonable survey pool. It's not a bad survey pool of 52,000. So 5,000 would be, 10%. So it's a reasonable survey pool. But all in all, fantastic figures.
Absolutely.
Shows the vibrancy of the hunting scene, and they do talk about the dogs and stuff like that. And I think I may have got this wrong. I have to check it again. Rifle was more effective than dog in terms of hounds.
So typically the hound hunters push the deer towards.
I don't know. I always thought hound hunters, was a very effective way of doing it.
I would have thought so. Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think it is. It's just a different type of effective because they might have a dozen people to get that one animal or two animals.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's possibly what it is. So yeah, but there's the full report is worth. And they also talk about scent trailing hounds. So that they use that that term.
Deer indicating dogs. Yeah.
Because that's what they talk about total deer harvested with hounds in thousands and stuff. And they give some historic numbers, all like over periods of time. So 2018 to 224, some really nice, there's some good figures in there. It's actually a really good thing to look at in terms of the hunting scene in Victoria around deer hunting, actually, of course. Oh, deer hunting, of course.
It just shows how effective hunters can be. That's
look, it's pretty hard to argue. Well, it's not, unfortunately. It is easy to argue. It seems pretty hard to argue if you have anything in your head called logic that hunting is not effective. If you don't like hunting, I'm assuming you can argue anything. But the fact that they've put 160,000 deer in the dirt for essentially sunk cost, the only cost being the administrative cost of that hunting. That's all.
Oh, and that's nothing in comparison
to the amount of money certainly that's right.
So, on equipment, fuel, food, alcohol.
But I mean, people say, what about the administrative cost of allowing hunters to hunt?
Yeah, I think it's pretty minimal.
167,000 would be, I would say, would stack up pretty nicely against
every single one of those is going to have a game license. So,
that's it. Yeah, it's great number.
Yeah. Yeah, and while we're talking Victoria, did you see they're already promoting hunting, the new huts that they're going to be building?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah. It's just, they've obviously acknowledged, the impact that deer hunters have, and, they're putting some nice huts up there in the high country. That's certainly going to drive more hunters up there.
Well, it's interesting because, I've seen other places saying they're not hunting huts, they're just outdoor huts. But they got meat safes in them.
Yeah, so do all the New Zealand hiking huts.
Yeah. So you don't put a meat safe in. You don't put a meat safe in a hut unless there's an intention for someone to use that meat safe.
Somewhere to store your dehydrated milk.
That's right. That's right.
Hang it up to dry.
Your mushroom ragu.
That's right.
I don't know. The apple crumble's pretty good. I quite like the apple crumble.
No, I wouldn't put it in a safe. What are you bastards?
But I don't know if you need a meat safe for
of course. But it's great that they're acknowledging the impact that hunters are having, and they're prepared to invest in it.
It's a practical acknowledgement of what the intention of, at least some part of the intention of those huts is.
And other states can certainly learn from that.
I think so. Yes. So that's
Queensland would love to learn.
Really, really good. Really
good. Have you seen the new BOM, Bureau of Meteorology website?
I'm so disappointed in it.
It is. There's so much hatred and disappointment about it.
When we look at where I live, there's like the whole of this area of Brisbane is not on it as a suburb. It goes from Kenmore to Sanford. So this whole massive area, and the old one, I could zoom down to a suburb level. Now it's just like, it's just there.
It doesn't exist.
Which I think is a bit of a, okay.
Yeah. And I mean, as hunters and fishermen, we use weather and we look at weather a lot. I look at that BOM most days. It is
Yeah,
horrendous.
same.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's shocking. We haven't had a big storm day yet, but I'm interested to see how it handles a big storm day, what it's going to look like, because I used to be able to track the way the storms were going pretty well.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I can now, but
yeah.
You just have to switch to Accu or Wily Weather or...
But they pull their stuff from BOM.
Yeah, but they haven't,
Bomb's
their
the
apps
only one.
haven't changed. That hasn't changed. I've been using Wily Weather today. It hasn't changed.
But yeah, I couldn't believe the change. I was on there the other day and I jumped on today to have a look because they forecast storms. And I was like, what the hell happened here? And I couldn't even find...
What? I'm not loving it.
No. I'm all for change and, updating it. They could have moved to a secure protocol a lot sooner, but didn't have to update the maps there. I thought they were just fine. But anyway, maybe someone will like it. But yeah, there's a lot of controversy around that.
The other issue is I actually know who did the mapping, so can't say.
Oh, did I listen to the podcast?
Pass on our feedback.
Can't say.
Well, it's all over the news websites, so I'm sure they know all about it.
I'm sure they do, unfortunately, yes. But yes, it's I can't zoom in on my suburb anymore, so that's a bit annoying. And I'm glad they kept the BOM, because I even believe that they were wanting to get rid of that.
They were talking about changing it,
and that's like from brand recognition, that would be like crazy. That's it is the most companies would love to have a brand that well known.
Oh yeah, what do they say? It's billions of visitors a year.
Yeah,
onto that website. Just go to the BOM. We all say it. Check the BOM.
That's right. Go to the BOM. That's a fantastic brand recognition. Yes, I'm on there right now.
Cool. So, Mark, have you had any updates on the bill?
Other than it's back in the House. Is the Senate called the House? I'm assuming it is.
Lower House, is it?
It's not the weeks.
No, it's a lower. It's in the upper house. So it's back into the. It's gone through
second reading.
It's gone through the committee. It's now back into the second reading. There seem to be a high level of confidence around that it will get through, but there's also the acknowledgement that it won't get through unscathed. Might be the way to describe it, but that's the horse trading of politics, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So, but yeah, there's a good feeling that it'll go through. Which again is a fantastic win for people in New South Wales, if that happens. But we will make the. I haven't, as I said, I haven't heard anything, but I'm going to actually put that down as an action for our next podcast to check in and get an update.
Well, by the next podcast, I think there'll be likely to be some official updates, so we can maybe drag one of the boys on and give us a quick 5-minute.
Or reach out to them and I'll speak to Robert Borzak Jr. a fair bit, so could always I'll make sure to officially ask the question and get some update.
Cool, awesome.
So I'm just looking through. If you're listening and you're wondering, well, we now have a list, so we're actually reading the list.
Trying to be professional.
Trying to be professional.
How's it coming across?
How's it coming across?
Last podcast I said that I found a new sport, Carnicross.
Yes.
Explain Carnicross. Yes. Well, on the weekend, my son being 7, and he's got one of my hand-me-down iPads, so I'm just learning how to control a child with an iPad with parental controls and all that sort of. My goodness, how hard is this? We had to move him to his own device because he's reading my text messages or my wife's text messages, and I'm saying, we can't do this anymore. We can't keep secrets from him anymore. He just reads them.
No, what you do is you just take the functions off those devices.
Well, we gave him a device without those functions, and he's got his own, what do you call it, family account on it. So we were able to give him his own his own persona on it. So he can go into contacts and he can ring mum or dad or nanny, or so that's awesome. So when I'm away for work now, I get my text messages from Zave. He's not using mum's phone, which is kind of cool. But anyway, he's also managed to figure out how to research stuff, the tricky little bugger. So anyway, he said to me, "Hey Dad, there's a tough dog event coming up." I say, "Yeah, okay, what's that?" He goes, "It's like an obstacle course for you and your dog." I said, that's pretty cool. I said, where is it? He goes, I don't know, but it's only an hour away according to Apple Maps. So, righto, fair enough. We should go watch it. So, okay, well, let's go watch it. So, it rolled around. I sent them a message and I said, I'd be keen to bring my son around to watch. And no one got back to me. And then I started looking into where it was, and they're like, oh, you only get the address once you register. So it must have been for insurance purposes or something. They couldn't let you to come onto the property without. Anyway, I passed the idea up as not being able to go, and then like 7 o'clock on Saturday night, the event being on Sunday, they sent me a message and said, yeah, we'd love to have you and your son come and watch. Just show up at this location at this time and you can take a spot and watch all the action. I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. So we went in, took my dog down so the dog could watch what was going on, and son down so son could see what was going on. And we sat there and we looked, and about 3 minutes into it, as you can imagine, my son's gone, Dad, we should have a go. I know. Yeah, that's a great idea, mate. Not this time. We didn't come prepared for it. We don't have change of clothes, nothing. One of the organisers is there, turned around and said, yeah, Dad, you should have a go. Mm-hmm. So now I get egged on by bloody people.
Yeah, that's going to go down well.
We did lead balloon. I said, so you sure about this, boy? Because, it's over 5 kilometres of mountain running. It's not just a little obstacle course. It's a good 5K up and down mountainside type stuff. And he's like, yeah, we'll do it. I said, okay, well, you asked for it. 5 minutes later, I'd signed the waiver for both of us. We had the dog at the start line and we were ready to rock. And off we went. Man, oh man, did I have the best time. Zave, as a trooper, he ran the full 5.5, 6 kilometres around this mountain. But, we're going through all of these different obstacles. At one point in time, we got down to this massive dam and you've got to walk through the dam. I thought, I was on the other side of the dam, there was a stand-up paddleboard. And I thought, well, they forgot to return it to the side. So I'm yelling at the organisers over the other side, send it back. Send it. They said, no, that's the rescue boat. You walk through it. I'm like, oh, far out. So I said, how deep is it? Meanwhile, my dog's already in mud everywhere and swimming for her life to the other side. I had to call her back. I get in, it's like halfway up my chest. And Zave, he's a tall boy, but he's only 7, up to his neck. And the mud was up to his knees, so he was losing his shoe every step that he took. It was pretty feral. Anyway, you get through that, up the mountain, around, through some muddy pipes and all the obstacles you can imagine if you were doing tough mudder, but with a dog. There was a slip and slide that went back into the cesspool of mud, and then a whole bunch of other things that we had to do, which was hellishly fun. And we did it. So we ended up getting a medal at the other end, and it was just fantastic. And he's super keen to go and do it. Yeah, and most dogs could probably get around it. There were times I had to lift the dog. By the time she got 3/4 of the way across and back to me on that dam, I put my hand underneath her chest to give her a bit more help. But yeah, man, what a cool thing. So anyway, I'm pretty addicted to muddy dog adventure running.
Tough mutter.
Tough mutter. That's a good name for it. Yeah,
it's better than tough dog. Tough dog.
When riding,
so that was good.
Yeah.
And goes right into the other thing that I was going to give you an update on, which was HuntFit. We've talked about HuntFit plenty of times. I would not have done that if it wasn't for the HuntFit program. There's no way in hell that at 140-something kilos that I would have said, yeah, boy, let's go and do that. That sounds like a good idea. But this time, no problem. I'd already done my 10Ks for the day, and we went and did another 6 up and down a mountain. It was the best.
That's awesome.
So I have to, I'm pretty grateful for that whole program. And on it, it's morphed again. It's taken a life of its own. It started off with us throwing out, a bit of information through the podcast to say, hey, if you want to get fit for hunting, if you want to drop a few kilos and you want a hand to do it in a good environment, come along, contact us and we'll tell you how to do it. We had 35 odd people come through it. Mm-hmm. Most of them have done exceptionally well. And every week now we start new people. There's people coming in, they're dumping 30 and 40 kilos, which is life-changing stuff for people.
Look at Frank.
It's just not. Yeah, well, Frank, I think he came to Buffalo Camp after dropping something like 55 or 60 kilos.
65, I think it was.
Yeah, it's just a massive
That's
number.
Huge. Yeah.
And what I mean by it's taken a life of its own. The guys that are going through it, and some of the girls, some of the wives are coming through it as well. Now their friends are getting involved, so it's kind of, expanding out into areas that are beyond hunting, but it's still there, it's still active, it's still alive, and if you're keen and you want to get involved with it, or you've half got involved with it, or you've tried to message us and we haven't got back to you, don't give up on it. It's sometimes we just get a lot of communication. It's hard to get back to everyone, but hit me up and I'll help you out. It's bloody good. That's all I can say.
Mm-hmm. It is. I mean,
I think we're nearly into the ton of weight lost through the group. It's insane. It's insane.
It is.
Yeah.
Mm.
So anyway, it's good. Good story.
Tough mutt. So whilst you're tough mutting, I'm trying to organise. Well, I'm beginning the process of organising a few hunts while I'm in the UK at the end of the year.
Oh, nice. What are you chasing, Mom?
I'd really look. I know
Pigeons.
there's lots of opportunity, but birds. If we can, birds,
because that's something we don't get to do.
That's right.
Birds, if I was getting back, I'd want to do some bird shooting.
Birds.
Yeah. I even so I'm going back to South Africa next year, and I'm organising a hunt as well. And I said to my mate, I said, can we maybe do some bird shooting?
Yeah,
that's what I'd like to do, because it's not something we get to do very often.
Yeah,
so, and I miss it. When I was in the UK, I got pigeon shooting, pheasant shooting, loved it. Ducks.
That's it. Same for me. Birds.
Mm.
Right, what they call it, a rough walk or a rough hunt.
Oh, I love the rough shooting. Yeah, just walking up.
Just walking around,
walking around, walk the creeks, walk the
flushing them up,
and flushing them. Oh.
I was up at the block on Wednesday, and the quail population up there is quite impressive.
Pity you can't shoot them now.
No, but what's even worse is the magpie. This magpie would swoop at me, and this country magpies are very different to city magpies in so much that country magpies kind of go, well, my area is 1,000 acres. So, I'm flying a kilometre to come at you type thing. You can see this thing coming at you from a fair distance coming at you and you go, and then you can hear it start and it comes down. So, there's a particular magpie and he's claimed a fair chunk of dirt as his territory.
Really?
But I was watching if he didn't sweep cows.
What's interesting because
I don't think that feels right.
I was watching him. I said, well, you go sweep
We've
the cows.
got three nesting magpies around the farm. There's probably more, but there's three specific ones. And when I do my running loop around the farm, I see them every morning, and they don't harass me at all, and it's great. But my wife, every morning, she comes and goes, bloody magpies, they bloody swoop me.
Well, that's it.
So they clearly don't like her on a horse.
Yeah. That's probably the horse part, but yeah.
But
they recognise faces. So we've got magpies around the house. We feed them, actually. I can feed them out of my hand. They'll come down.
Yeah.
And the butcher birds as well. You throw the food up. And
butcher birds.
But they don't swoop at all.
Yeah, I think they're like deer though. Once they get to a breeding season, they go a bit cuckoo for a while, and then they kind of return to normal transmission. So, speaking of which, saw some reds. The trouble with the territory is it makes you look for bovines though. So I was going through that. I was going, oh, cow. I could see, and then I saw, and the brain took the brain a couple of seconds ago. Oh, that's a deer.
So you saw some reds, did you?
Yeah, saw them at distance. They weren't worried or anything like that. I just saw some movement at distance and went, oh, deer. That's what that is. So yeah, got 5 cameras up. I'm going to put another couple up for next time. Try to set a pattern around a very productive dam, but it's got no trees on it. So if I can't get a decent pattern, I'm going to have to make another camera blind like I did last year.
Much water up there?
Interestingly, the landscape has changed so much is now I can now see another dam at distance that I couldn't see before.
Okay, because it's been so dry.
It was pretty green, still pretty green.
So I know they've had some rain up there, but up until that.
Every major dam had water in it. There's a couple of wallows that were dry, but they dry out pretty quickly. But the 1, 2, 3, 4 major dams all had water in them, and it was some good deer sign around one of the dams.
No pigs on?
No, it was not a lot of sign. But then again, there is not often a lot of sign on those 2 properties that I hunt. They don't hold big numbers. I think they're more transient through there. But we'll find out over. So I've got the cameras up. Put a couple of video quick reels up on the Facebook page, which people like. So I'll go
one upside down camera.
Yep, that's me. That's me getting the last bit of I can out of that camera.
Upside
the
down.
Top seal's gone.
Aha, there's an explanation there.
Yeah, the top seal is gone. So if you hold it up that way,
the seal inside the door, like the rubber seal.
Yeah, the door has.
Man, I've got.
No, it's not. It's like it's warped. it's dying.
That's not the That's not the rubber seal. It's the actual door.
As in, it doesn't seal anymore at the top. It doesn't seal anymore at the top. And so I kind of went, I reckon if I just turn upside down, it'll work. And you know what? It works.
You can just flip the video.
It works.
You just rotate the video with the
picture. That's right. All you have to do is, when you do, you just have to highlight, rotate, and it all works out. Yeah. Or you can do that. You can just turn the computer upside down, or you can just rotate the image. But yeah, that's one of the that's an Aldi one. So I'm getting the last, I don't know, year, half a year, whatever I can out of that one.
Last season.
One of the oldest ones I've got. The Aldi ones. So yes, and I've gone exclusively to cable ties now. All the straps have either perished or are very about to perish. Yeah, so cable ties. And the other thing is with cable ties, if you're listening and using cable ties, leave the tail, because when you get back, usually it smooths a little bit and it allows you to do a little bit more adjustment on them. And the other thing was the lantana is on the march in certain areas. So I'll be having to take my cutters up next time, because there's a couple of tracks I can't get through now.
So the property I was on earlier this year, hunting reds, they were spraying the lantana. It was everywhere.
One of the properties they're not running cattle on anymore, so it's in the bush block part of it. It's certainly on the march.
Doesn't take long, eh?
It's crazy.
I destocked our whole place, so all the sheep prices went up, so I sold them all, and already you're seeing all of this crappy weeds start coming up that they used to keep under control.
Yeah. So. Interestingly, though, what I did see more than I've ever seen is bush turkeys everywhere. Really? And so, I was looking at a far face, and this black thing came out. I went, "Is that like a little dog or a pig or something?" Because it was very, it was small. I went, "No, it's a bush turkey." He's just happily wandering down through this paddock, one of the high paddocks. So I saw a lot of bush turkeys, which is great to see, and the kangaroos and all those things like that, seeing the natives up there. But yeah, not a lot of deer sign, but seen some, and also found what I think was a good crossing point. So I'll be dropping a camera on that place, which is a new part of the property. I'm going to put a camera on that as well. So, and it might even be an upside down camera.
Stranger things.
One sideways, just for fun.
Give you any better picture, would it? Not really. No. So that's
right then.
I'm thinking the list is about exhausted.
I've got two things left. One.
Okay, go for it.
Thank you to everybody who's watched Red 3. Red 3 video went out. Some 25,000 people have watched it, which is excellent. Thank you very much. If you've done that, thanks. Tell your friends. And go back and watch 1 and 2. So I don't know why 25,000 people watched the last one. Maybe the first 2 were boring. Anyway, we learn. So there was a thank you for that. And we have another greatest hunt ever story.
Yes.
To read. Now, the last one was done by an AO voiceover. I think I'll read this one.
Okay.
Just because.
Okay.
We had to forget.
Can we do both?
Yeah. Do both what? Read both stories, or do the both via AI? Or do it twice?
Also AI as well.
I think we just one or the other. I think you read this one. Read it.
I'll read it, and then you can slice it out and redo it. Okay, this one
depends how you read it.
This one's been sent in by Sam Crow. So thank you, Sam. And it says, "Hi guys, I have not long stumbled across your podcast, and I'm getting some real enjoyment out of it, and really look forward to the upcoming NT hunt." Sam, so were we. We were looking forward to it. It's now over. It's how long I've had this story in my inbox. We're looking forward to the 1 and 2 years as well. But anyway, I thought I'd write a little story that means a lot to me, and quite possibly my best hunt ever. Living in Tasmania, the deer season was once upon us. My wife, 3 daughters, and I sent off to the Central Highlands to try our luck for a trophy stag. My wife took the 2 youngest, and my eldest daughter, Grace, followed closely behind me. After a few hours of sitting in the freezing cold wind and rain, seeing the odd deer walk through, we had a fallow deer walk down off the bank towards us. Grace had been shooting the 22 for a few years now, only at targets, but she was quite the shot. The doe fed in closer to about 80 meters, and after about 10 minutes of Grace persistently nagging me to let her have the shot at her first deer, I gave in. So up on the tripod, she readied herself behind the 243. At 60 meters, she made the perfect broadside shot, dropping the doe instantly. After a lot of celebrations and a very proud dad moment, she called her mum to give her the news. We walked over, took some photos of the first deer, loaded it up, and headed back to the hut. She was the centre of attention that night by the fire, where she told all the returning hunters that night the story. Later that week, she said to me that the weekend was the best weekend ever and went home to repack for our next adventure the following weekend. She has since had that skin tanned and sleeps with it every night on her bed. I've attached a photo for you. Keep up the good podcast, boys, and I look forward to more good listening. Thank you, Sam. You've contributed to the good
work.
listening. What a great
Brilliant
story.
What
a
story.
And I have a photo here, but I haven't asked for permission to share it. I'll do that.
Yes.
If we can, we will.
What a story. Fantastic.
AI, good luck reading that, Peter. I tell you.
I've just noticed that on the list that we do have a few other things.
Oh dear. That was supposed to be the...
We are, for those listening, we are trying to move to an e-commerce model on the website.
Before you carry on, that was our third and final greatest hunt ever. You useless buggers, send us emails. We don't have any more.
I thought he was talking to me.
No, the listeners. We know there's more out there.
Oh,
more
okay. Sorry. Well, then it's not our final. That might be our current season one.
Yeah, that was our third and final of the current stock that we have.
Sorry, yes.
So if you want to hear more, send them. Send them now. Thank you. Carry on.
Yes, back to, so we are looking to move to an e-commerce site, which will help with moving merch and things like that, which is, just getting better at what we do. You know what? I reckon the reason why that video has got so many views is because it's called Red 3. And people might think it's the third installment of the movie Reds with Bruce Willis and stuff.
No, that's not why it's got.
Oh, really? Because there was Reds and Reds 2. So they think, Red 3, this is a Bruce Willis movie.
It's because it's a quality video and people want to watch it.
Yeah, and it's got hurls in it. I mean, that's why.
Yeah, but he's in the first two.
Suspense and cinematic excellence.
He's in the first two, so that doesn't kind of lend itself in. Why it was Red 3. Okay.
Cool.
So that's my observation. So any final comments, questions?
Just Fraser, here we come.
Fraser, here we come.
This time next week,
there we go.
Gonna catch the biggest fish on a 3006
cartridge. I'm going to catch the biggest fish, mate. I am.
Now look, you can't get that 200-pound hook and just cable tie a 308 case to it. Yeah, that's not. You need to make a lure out of the.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That's it. It has to be no bait. It has to be.
It'll be a lure. I don't want you just kind of going. Oh, look, I put this 308 on my drone, so I caught this thing. Yeah. We don't want just a 308 hanging on cable tied to that thing.
I'm going to catch a big shark though. That's what I'm going to be catching.
That's it.
That's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
We're done.
Cool.
Hey, Jono.
I'll see you in a week's time, Hills.
Play the outro.
Here we go.
Oh.
Wrong one.
Oh, dear. Good night.
Good night.
Rightio, that's a wrap from the team at the Hunters Campfire. We hope you had a laugh, learned something useful, or at least were a little bit entertained. And you feel a little bit more pumped up for your next hunting, shooting, or outdoor misadventure. As always, a massive thanks for the support from our friends at SSAA and Beretta Australia. Whether you're out there chasing game, telling lies to your mates around the fire, or just trying to remember where you left your boots. Stay wild, stay curious, and for the love of all things blaze, stay safe, so we can see you back around the fire next time.